You're watching this India Today special with me, Nabila Jamal. Today, we have a special guest joining us. Of course, most of you know who he is. He is someone who is known for his spiritual perspective. And at a time like this, when we've seen the entire world grappling for life over coronavirus, the pandemic has hit us hard. It is a tense situation all across. Many of them have anxiety, panic, a lot of concern on how to calm the mind. It is stressful to go through home isolation and even to think of the number of people dying owing to this disease. It is quite a pandemic that we've got to battle and handle, and this is a time that we've got to show some resolve and restraint. Joining us, we have Sadhguru Jaggi Vasudev speaking to us live. Thank you so much, Sadhguru, for speaking to India Today and giving us your views. We have quite a few questions to ask you on how to really handle your mental health at a time like this. We do know that Isha Foundation has also joined hands with the center to close some of its gates for visitors, and this is in a bid that you have adopted to contain the spread of the virus. And you also, we believe, have appealed for people to follow this Janta curfew. And since you do enjoy a lot of fame and adoration for a spiritual guru, what's your opinion on Janta curfew today?
Namaskaram. No voice.
We can hear you, Sadhguru. Go on.
Okay. See, at a time like this is a time when as individual human beings, we can show who we really are. Because when everything is going well, people assume too many things about themselves. It is during moments of crisis, we have to stand up and show what we are made of. So this is a time like that. This is not that kind of an ailment that which will spread without our cooperation. This needs our cooperation because we need to understand the virus is not against us really, because we are its habitat. They want to live in our body, but if we die, they're disappointed with us. The important thing is, for our societies, for human societies to remain safe, the important thing is we give physical distance from each other, maintain this social distancing so that we don't spread it to the entire world. But spreading of the virus will inevitably happen over a period of time. It is just that we don't want to peak in such a way that we cannot deal with it. We don't want to create a peak that we cannot handle. Above all, the vulnerable populations like the over 60 population and those who have any kind of immune blocks or those who have transplants and children below 1 year of age, infants, these are all at great risk. So it is our responsibility to ensure that we don't create too many fatalities.
Right.
This is the responsibility we need to take. People must understand, anyway virus will go to every human being on the planet. In how much time is the question. If we ensure it slows down, it is a flat curve, that it is not a very steep curve, that we will lead to social situations, social unrest, civil unrest, so that we won't be able to handle it and we make a disaster out of it. It is very important that we slow it down. We cannot contain it absolutely, but we need to slow it down. Everybody needs to understand this. People are arguing about this, how can we stop it, what can happen? We cannot stop it, we can slow it down.
Absolutely. This is a chance for us that to of course refrain from stepping out. When we say chance, it's about time that we really learn to listen to our mind, body and soul. It's going to be quite difficult, Sadhguru, to really contain that mind which is exploding with that many ideas, anxiety, stress. Am I going to be affected by the virus? What about my family members? How do I deal with it? How do I stay at home? How can I let go of all the worldly pleasures? It's going to be difficult for people to really contain themselves and follow this restrain and resolve formula that the Prime Minister has given out.
See, instead of thinking on those terms that you are restrained and you resolve to contain it, all this, you got a 15-day vacation at home with your family.
Right.
Please enjoy that time. Only thing is, maintain physical distance and enjoy that as much as possible. Now, all those people who are in an economic condition that they can take that 15-day vacation must take it and stay at home. But there is a whole population in this country which can't afford a vacation like that. Those who are daily wage earners. Well, fortunately, we've been trying to create an economic infrastructure in the country by creating bank accounts, crores of bank accounts and things like that. So this is the time to really use it, that if that segment of population whose livelihood will be hit and it may lead to starvation and those kind of situations, it is important the necessary financial support comes from the government and directly reaches their bank accounts, and they can use it for their survival process, whatever we can afford in this kind of economy.
No doubt.
But it is very, very important that we don't create a panic situation or starvation situations which will lead to civil unrest and we'll have a whole new problem to handle. That is the thing we need to avoid with this curfew. One-day curfew is what Prime Minister has asked for. I think he's asking for the minimum to make it a success, but all responsible human beings must ensure at least a week to 2-week curfew, they must self-impose curfew, they must do.
Right. You're right, this is self-responsibility, Sadhguru, and people, it seems like across of India, people have been largely responsible. We've not seen many out on the streets. It looks like they are adhering to those the talk that Prime Minister Modi gave out. But more importantly, it all comes down to your self-control, right? If you've always spoken about individual transformation for global harmony and whatnot, this can't be a better time, Sadhguru, to tell us how people could really transform themselves given this grim scenario for the larger good.
Well, once again I would like to stress on this, instead of thinking you're doing something very difficult staying at home. I didn't know home was such a difficult place. Why have you made it like that? Home should not be such a difficult place to stay. So instead of seeing it like you're doing some phenomenal feat of staying home, let us see it as a great opportunity to stay at home. Whole lot of people are complaining every day about going to work, every day I have to work. Here is an opportunity where you can work on your physical well-being, mental well-being, and if possible, a spiritual dimension to your life if you're interested in that. But the important thing is, this is a time, free time that's come to you, and at the same time, without doing nothing, you're serving the nation and the world, which is a fantastic opportunity that everybody should make use of. Most people hesitate to do anything. If you want to do anything important in the country, there is a whole lot of hesitation. This hesitation comes out as criticism and negative talk. But here is an opportunity, at least by doing nothing, you can serve the country and the world. Please make use of it, don't make it a big challenge. About how to improve yourself in this time, how to make use of this time. Well, there are many things we can do in terms of how we eat, how we live. It is very important that we stay physically active. Because our ability to fight anything is far better when we are physically active, and if you are mentally exuberant, it helps a lot, but exuberance may not happen to you overnight if you have not done that all your life. So there are simple things to do. Should we go into that right now, Nabila?
Go right ahead, all yours.
Okay.
A few tips. We're very keen on hearing your spiritual perspective, Sadhguru.
So, there are simple processes that one can do. First of all, in terms of consumption, I'm only talking about those things which are widely available to all sorts of people. The simple thing is, every day a little bit of, let's say 8 to 10 leaves of neem and a little bit of turmeric in warm water. If you drink this, your ability to fight external organisms is greatly enhanced. This is something that everybody can bring into their homes. Naturally, in most homes in southern India, it's already there, but maybe in other parts of the country it is not there, we must bring this in. And if you do not know any other practice, if you can do something like Surya Kriya, it would do a great difference. If you are doing any kind of kriyas or pranayams, if you have been inconsistent, this is the time to make it consistent so that your system is able to fight it. If you do not know any of those things, at least 10 minutes at a time, 10 to 15 minutes at a time, just jog on the spot. Let's say you do it about 5 to 6 times in the day, you will see your body's ability to fight the virus is much better. First thing is, we need to understand, I see there's a mosquito on your screen. Mosquito is not the problem, because if mosquito was the carrier, we would talk about killing them. But
Okay.
right now, we are the carriers. So, this is both an advantage and a disadvantage. If you are a responsible and a determined population, we being the carriers, we can stop the virus.
Right.
But if mosquito was carrying, the mosquito was not taking consultation from you how to go about things. But here we are human beings, we are supposed to be a conscious piece of life. This is the time to exhibit that we can conduct ourselves consciously. If we conduct ourselves consciously, particularly protecting the vulnerable populations in our society, in our homes, in our families, our parents, our grandparents, we must ensure nobody gets anywhere within 2 meters of them. If you do this, we will ride this with minimum losses.
Right,
The
that's
important thing
exactly
is,
what I wanted to ask you next was, there is this flawed understanding of social distancing, Sadhguru. There is an assumption that you can distance yourself only from the outside world, but within your own household you can mingle with your family members. But that's something that needs to be questioned. And if you could probably give us an advice or two on how to possibly resist affection between your family members itself. It's going to be hard to keep social distance between them.
well, these days most people fall in love on the social media, so they're able to express their affection without getting close to anybody.
Right.
So I think they should use that method at home also.
Right.
So, the important thing is physical distance. Social distancing is important on one level, but physical distance between one person and the next is most important. If we manage this and maintain certain respiratory etiquette which has been spoken about all over the place, well, this is lacking in the country. This is the time. This is a good time to discipline the whole population towards a better behavior. At least the fear of death should do that. If sense doesn't do it, at least fear of death should do it. This is
Absolutely.
important. I'm saying this is all the choice we have. What life throws at us is not our choice, but what we make out of it is 100% our choice. This is the choice we need to exercise. Whatever life throws at us, we can make it into a positive process or we can make it into a negative process. When difficult things come at us, the question is, will we become wounded or will we become wise? My advice is, you must turn wise. These 15 days, we must produce a wise nation, not only a
you've
healthy
always spoken about how, you know, we don't need good people, we need sensible people, we need joyful people. But one can't really expect sense to prevail in such abundance, can we, Sadhguru? And is there really a art or a formula to happiness and joy?
See, the simple sense is this. Well, see, the basic mistakes we have done is just this. We have no distinction between what is me and what is mine. We are mistaking what is me and what is mine as the same thing. For example, if you think you are the clothes that you wear is you, or if you think the car that you drive is you, if you think the home that you live in is you, if you think the people that you have relationships is with you, if you think the body that you have gathered is you, if you think the mind or the content of the mind that you have gathered is you, well, you have a serious problem going. Well, in a moment of crisis like this, it may show up in a strong way, but it is playing havoc with your life on a daily basis. So this is the time to sit back and see what is me, what is not me. What I gather can be mine, we are not disputing that right now, but it cannot be me. If I say this piece of cloth is me, then obviously I've lost it. So if you similarly say that this body, this content of the mind and what you know and what you do not know, everything which is accumulated as myself, then you have a problem. For this we have a simple solution where this is already millions of people are practicing this is being titled as Isha Kriya, a simple way of separating what is you and what is not you. If this much discipline everybody brings, it's available free for everyone to make use of. If you bring this much consciousness into you, what is me, what is not me. It'll be very, very easy to ride through times like this, and this should not be done only for these times, because inevitably all of us are going to die sometime.
Right,
We just want to postpone it.
speaking of that, Sadhguru, there's a lot of talk about how this could be karma. Do you feel that this is karma? Spiritual perspective here, because of course, all the unnatural behavior that humans may have displayed, culling of wild animals, deforestation for that matter, mining, contributing to global warming in every possible way. Do you feel that, us toying with nature has really resulted in this karma?
Definitely karma, but not in the way you're talking, because even before all this deforestation, all this stuff, whatever you mentioned happened, even before that pandemics did happen in the world. But the karma is this: right now if you do not follow the curfew, personally imposed curfew, you must understand this is personally imposed curfew, this is not Prime Minister imposed curfew.
Absolutely.
If you do this karma properly, you will be safe. If you do not do this karma properly today and in the next 2 weeks, well, you will be putting so many other people to risk, and that karma also will be upon you. It's not just about your life, you are putting an enormous amount of population to risk, particularly the poor who may not get the necessary treatment and testing in time, the older people and other vulnerable populations. You will be unnecessarily putting them to risk by behaving irresponsibly. Irresponsibility is also karma.
Very true.
Responsibility is also a karma. Let us behave responsibly and perform good karma.
I have one last question for you, Sadhguru. Please do tell us. It's very difficult to let go of worldly pleasures. I told you, people are going to be… They can stay inside one house as long as they don't come face to face with each other. They would tear each other apart. Now people are forced to stay at home, letting go of meeting their friends, their work, going to the gym. So it is giving up on worldly pleasures at the end of it. How could you really attain a state of mind where you can let go of all of that and stay at home? It's going to be hard. A last word of advice from you.
I don't think a whole lot of people see work as pleasure, unfortunately.
At a time like this, it looks like they do.
And some studies in United States show that 70% of the people hate their work.
Okay.
Not dislike, they hate their work. So it must be a great relief that 15 days you have no work. So I'm not talking about taking away any pleasures. Enjoy the pleasures of being with yourself. When I say being with yourself, see, if you are miserable being in your office, you can blame it on somebody. If you're miserable being in your studio, you can blame it on me right now. But if you're miserable when you're alone, you're obviously in bad company. So it's time to fix that bad company. These 15 days are a wonderful opportunity for you to ensure that you do not go about looking for wonderful people in the world.
Right.
You become that wonderful person.
Right.
Make yourself that wonderful person. You don't go about looking for wonderful people.
Sadhguru, thank you very much. That was much needed. We wanted to break away from all this crisis, pandemic situation that we're constantly been covering and reporting. We needed someone to really calm the mind. Thank you, Sadhguru, for joining us with those details. And on that note, India, of course, is restraining themselves from… people are restraining themselves from coming out. They are quite conscious today, and the curfew largely so far seems successful there.
Hi everyone, Preeti Chaudhary here. Hope you like this video. For latest news and analysis, like and subscribe to the India Today YouTube channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated. Thank you for watching.